Coming in hot. Wow. Opening the door.
Caitlyn Clark is dominating the WNBA like no other rookie before. But while she's breaking records and elevating the game, something troubling is happening on the courts. In this latest game against the Chicago Sky, Clark not only reached her personal WNBA record with an impressive 31 points, but was also the target of a dangerous shove during a transition play. And it's not the first time this has happened. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, because what we're about to reveal about Caitlyn Clark's treatment in the WNBA will shock you and raise serious questions about the future of the league. Is Clark's success putting her safety at risk? The game between the Fever and the Chicago Sky should have been just another showcase of Caitlyn Clark's extraordinary talent. And in many ways, it was exactly that. Clark dominated the court, scoring 31 points and dishing out 12 assists, her personal best in the WNBA so far. She proved once again why she's the undisputed favorite for Rookie of the Year. But behind this brilliant performance, a disturbing pattern is emerging. Late in the game, when the Fever's victory was already practically guaranteed, Clark was the target of an unnecessary and potentially dangerous shove during a transition play. This incident wasn't an isolated case. Let's go back a few days to the game against the Connecticut Sun. There, we saw a similar situation, Clark being pushed on a screen play. Twice in such a short time isn't a coincidence, folks. It's a pattern. What makes this even more alarming is when these shoves are occurring. They're not normal game plays. They're moments when Clark is vulnerable, often at high speed. The potential for serious injury is real and frightening. Now, let's put these actions in context. Caitlyn isn't just another talented rookie. She's simply destroying the league. With impressive averages in points and assists, Clark is doing things that veterans with years of experience struggle to achieve.
Working it around here for the Fever. Good ball movement on this possession. Logo shot! Logo make for Clark!
She's playing at a level that forces opposing teams to completely change their defensive strategies. But here's the crucial point. Is this dominance provoking a negative reaction? Are opposing teams, frustrated with their inability to stop Clark within the rules of the game, resorting to more physical and potentially dangerous tactics? It's important to note that basketball is a contact sport, and physical plays are part of the game. However, there's a fine line between physical play and dangerous play. The shoves Clark is experiencing, especially in vulnerable moments like fast breaks, cross that line. We have to ask ourselves, if it were an established veteran experiencing this kind of treatment, what would the league's reaction be? Do the WNBA's established stars face the same level of physical contact that Clark is experiencing? Let's take a closer look at the impact these dangerous plays can have, not just on Caitlyn Clark, but on the league as a whole. First, there's the obvious risk of injury. Clark is an incredible athlete, but nobody is invincible. A shove at the wrong moment, at high speed, can result in a serious fall. A severe injury would not only harm Clark's promising career, but also deprive fans and the league of an extraordinary talent. Second, there's the psychological aspect. How does this affect Clark's game? So far, she seems unfazed, continuing to dominate the courts. But how long until she starts to hesitate in fast breaks? How long until that subconscious fear affects her game? Third, we have to consider the precedent being set. If these tactics against Clark are tolerated, what message does that send to the rest of the league? Are we saying it's acceptable to resort to dangerous plays when you can't stop a talented player? Last but not least, there's the impact on the league's image. The league is in a period of unprecedented growth, with Clark being one of the main reasons for it. Indiana Fever games are selling out, media coverage is increasing. But what kind of spectacle are we offering if we allow one of our rising stars to be the target of potentially harmful plays? The WNBA has a unique opportunity here. Protecting Clark and other players in similar situations isn't just about safety. It's about preserving the bright future the league has ahead. It's important to recognize that not all physical contact is ill-intentioned. Basketball is an intense and fast-paced sport, and sometimes plays that look dangerous are just a result of the speed and intensity of the game. However, the pattern we're seeing with Clark raises red flags. And most worryingly, the league remains silent on this. No official statement, no announced investigation, no public warning to teams. This silence is deafening and concerning. Let's compare this to other professional leagues. In the NBA, for example, dangerous plays often result in suspensions and fines. The league doesn't hesitate to protect its stars. Why does the WNBA seem to be hesitating? Maybe it's time for fans to raise their voices. Social media is full of videos of these incidents, with fans expressing their concern and outrage. But so far, this hasn't translated into action from the league. Of course, there's an argument to be made that Clark needs to toughen up and adapt to the WNBA's physical game. But there's a big difference between legitimate physical play and potentially dangerous tactics. What we're seeing goes beyond normal physical play. It's a pattern of behavior that seems to have Clark as a specific target. Now let's look to the future and consider possible solutions to this growing problem. First, the league needs to publicly acknowledge the situation. An official statement addressing these concerns would be a good start. This would show that the league is aware and takes the safety of its players seriously. Next, a review of current rules may be necessary. Perhaps it's time to introduce more severe penalties for dangerous plays, especially those that occur away from the ball. Heavier fines and longer suspensions could serve as a strong deterrent. Referees also have a crucial role to play. They need to be more alert to this type of behavior and willing to make tough calls when necessary. Perhaps it's time for a refresher for officials, with a specific focus on identifying and penalizing potentially dangerous plays. Finally, the players themselves need to speak out. If respected veterans of the league spoke out against these tactics, it could have a significant impact. After all, peer respect is often the most powerful. As for Caitlyn Clark, she continues to play her game, seemingly undisturbed. Her resilience is admirable, but it shouldn't be necessary. A talented rookie shouldn't have to survive her first season. She should be able to shine without fear of these aggressive fouls. The situation we're seeing with Caitlyn Clark isn't just about one player. It's a reflection of something bigger, something that could define the future of the WNBA. Think about it. What happens if nothing is done? If the league continues to remain silent, if opposing teams continue to use increasingly aggressive tactics, first, we run the real risk of seeing Clark, or another rising star, suffer a serious injury. This wouldn't just be a personal tragedy, but a devastating blow to the league as a whole. Second, what kind of example are we setting for young athletes who dream of playing in the WNBA? Are we telling them that if they're too good, if they stand out too much, they'll be targets of dirty play? Third, how does this affect the image? A league that doesn't protect its stars, that allows talent to be stifled by physical intimidation, isn't a league that will attract the best talents or the biggest sponsors. And perhaps most worryingly, what if Clark decides it's not worth it? What if other talented players opt for international leagues where they might feel their safety is taken more seriously? The WNBA is at a crossroads. The path it chooses now will have repercussions for years to come. Will we see a league that embraces and protects extraordinary talent, allowing players like Clark to elevate the sport to new heights? Or will we see a league that allows fear and intimidation to dictate the rules? The clock is ticking. Every game that passes without action is a lost opportunity. How long until it's too late? The ball is in the WNBA's court. It's time for action. It's time to show that the future of women's basketball is bright, exciting, and, above all, safe for its stars. What do you all think about this? The situation with Caitlyn is serious and needs our attention. Leave in the comments. Do you think the WNBA is doing enough to protect its rising stars? What would you do if you were in the shoes of the league's officials? And there's more. If you could send a direct message to Caitlyn Clark right now, what would you say to her? How would you support her at this moment? Don't forget to like this video if you agree that this is an issue that deserves more attention. Share it with your friends who are basketball fans. The more people talk about this, the greater the chances we'll see real change. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, what are you waiting for? Click the subscribe button right now and turn on the notification bell. That way, you won't miss any updates. Thanks for watching and see you soon.